All right, Shalom. We're the children of God coming to you to preach the gospel of the kingdom. Okay. Before that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem Rakal Kadash, which Yahweh being the Heavenly Father in his Hebrew name, and Yahushai being the Hebrew name of who they call Jesus. And I'm going to start right here. James 4 and verse 7. It says, submit yourselves therefore to God. Right? So this is a key ingredient for salvation, right? It's step 1 and step 2. It says, submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil and he will flee, right? So those are 2 things that are crucial in salvation. 1, submit yourselves to God. 2, resist the devil, right? Because you can, when you submit to God, it's going into what? Following his rules, right? Following his rules. Now, upon following his rules, that does not mean, okay, now I'm doing what God says, so now everything is going to be easy, X, Y, and Z. That's why the second part is what? Resist the devil and he'll flee, right? Because that's the second big part of following God. Resisting Satan, right? The devil. Because there's always a left to a right, right? Life and death, up and down, darkness and light, right? Good and evil. The good is the people who follow Yahushai, right? That's the goodness, Yahushai. The goodness is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They're trying to walk in that and walk in their light. Darkness is everything contrary to what Yahushai and Yahweh stands for, right? So again, it says resist the devil and he will flee. And this is good. This is important knowledge to know, right? Because you want to let people know, like, hey, just because you're following God, that doesn't mean everything's going peaches and cream now, right? In fact, when you follow God, things can get stickier than they would if you wasn't following God here, right? So, because following God is like for the most part a long-term investment, right? When you follow God, it's more than likely, right? On a higher end, it's a long-term investment, right? Because you can follow Satan now, and you can get a quick payout right now, cash out. Sure, it's possible, right? But also you can get a fast, quick payout with the Most High too. But the biggest things that you receive from Yahweh Hashem Shai, is going to be received on the back end, the majority of it, right? Now, the way Satan works, you get everything. If anything, you get it on the front end. That's why it looks so good, right? Like, oh, let's drop this bank. I get this immediate thing. Or let's do drugs. I get this immediate fix, right? It's pretty much like a quick fix, right? When following Satan, it's pretty much a quick fix. Now, when you're following God, again, that's more of a long-term investment, right? That's why it's a race. And a lot of people get weary and well-doing and fall out the race. You know what? Following God ain't really panning out. Now I'm going to go follow Satan. A lot of people are going to do that, right? A lot of people are going to do that. Everybody is not going to have the patience to endure afflictions. They're not going to have their patience to go without, right? So they're going to fold. And they're going to do Satan's work. But again, what does James say? Submit. What does it say in James? Submit to God, right? Step 1. Step 2, resist the devil and he's going to flee. This is Because these are forms of submitting to God. Galatians 5 and verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. Against such there is no law. The fruit of the Spirit are the ways in which we submit to God, right? Those are the ways that we are in subjection to God. When we are in a joyful spirit, we're in subjection to God. When we're in a loving spirit, we're in subjection to God. We're in meekness, we're in subjection to God, right? It says, peace, subjection to God. Long-suffering, gentleness, all these things, when you walk in these things, this is how you submit to God, right? These are different forms of submission to God. Now I'm going to get the opposite. It says, Galatians 5 and verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies, envyings, murderers, drunkenness, and revelings, and such alike. So all these different things are rebellion to God, right? The first end that I read were submission to God, right? And the second end was rebellion to God. Because those are the only two, there's only two types of people on the planet that God is going to acknowledge, right? People who submit to him and people who rebel to him. There is no in between, right? Yahweh Shah said, when he called Jesus, if you're not with me, you're against me, right? So there's only two types of people. You got people who try to split it up. Oh, well, you got Israelites, you got Moabites, right? You got Edomites, so on and so forth. But no, there's only two types. Yes, sir. There's only two types of people: believers and non-believers. That's it. There is no in between. You can't say, oh, well, I don't believe in God, so I'm just going to stand in the middle. To not believe or to not take a side is taking a side, right? To not take a side is taking a side. Period. There is no, if you are undecided, you have already been decided for. Like how this place says, if you do not have a lawyer, one will be appointed to you, right? And that's what's going to happen when Judgment Day comes, right? If you haven't chosen a side, it's going to be appointed for you, right? This is I'm gonna get more different situations of submission. This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 39. Matter of fact, 39. It says, but I say unto you that you resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him also the other. So it says, resist not evil, which is going to fight evil with evil, right? You're not going to give in to evil. That's what it means right here when it says resist not evil, right? So you're not going to fight evil for evil. It says, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him also the other, right? Which is going into forgiveness and mercy, right? Oh man, my friend did this to me. Okay, give him another chance. You got another cheek, right? You're not down and out, right? Go ahead, do that, right? It says, and again, doing this is in submission to God, right? Because like I said before, there's only two types of people: people who submit to God and people who rebel to God, right? So the alternative of not being merciful and forgiving, right? The alternative of being merciful and forgiving is to not be, which is what? In rebellion to God, right? Because submission and mercy is one of the chief things, right? It's one of the chief things.